Hello everyone, and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. We're still in this forest, and I'm gonna keep exploring it, of course. This is, by the way, the same encounter that killed me a few times previously, so... It's this top corner which has two of these forest lurker things, which are just... well, a little rough, I guess. But hey, I'm now equipped to finish exploring this place. And then I'll go back to town to restock on my camping supplies before I head into the camp. Not the camp, the fort. I don't know why I said camp. It's nothing like a camp, but anyway.
You better run!
I also didn't rest.
Just say the word.
I figured I'd basically
Just say the word.
just loot. I said loot. That was difficult to click. I'll try and get through the area without resting, because I'm gonna go back to town after anyway to sell some inventory and, you know, possibly get another character into the party.
You're mine.
So these, by the way, these Wichts, I don't quite know what they're supposed to be, but they are vessels, so I'm guessing they're some kind of undead or something. They are fairly weak from what I recall. But also, they clump up very nicely. And yeah, you can see they went down crazy fast. They also don't appear to ever drop loot, so, you know, win some, lose some. But here we have Fulvano's boots. Yeah, +1 constitution. Which seems like it might be handy in my tank. Well, my fighter, who's the closest thing I have to a tank, I suppose. And he also got the amulet, giving a healing bonus and reflex +5.
Yeah.
Guess some sort of dragon bone. Although it's quite possible the game uses a different name for dragons. So it's not a universal truth, but it tends to be the case is that the more words a fictional setting invents, the worse it is. There are exceptions. So hence I said it's not universal. Tolkien invented a ton of stuff, and his world building was amazing. But in general, I would be a bit wary of like a setting where they suddenly invent a billion new words to throw at you. But yeah, it seems like there's so many of them, so they should be difficult. But I don't know, they apparently don't have
Just say the word.
much in the way of damage or hit points, so they're really not that threatening, they're just kind of a lot of them. Oh dear. Goodness gracious me. I'm sorry, that was slightly racist. Oh, a forest troll. So the last time I went up against these two forest lurker things, which gave me so much trouble last time, that was in my private testing the game kind of playthrough, which I haven't continued yet. I'm trying to go into this sort of slightly less spoiled. But yeah, I had a larger party because I'd hired a bunch of adventurers. Basically, I had a full party, and then as I got the new members, I replaced the not named, just kind of bought adventurers I hired at the inn. But I didn't feel like doing it this time. A two-handed warbow, which of course went here. Which is just fine. Okay. So fine just means for accuracy 15% damage, which is nice. And I can also enchant it. So it already has one quality enchantment on it, which is fine. But if I had the ingredients, for example, which is a lot. Sorry, I just massively bumped my mic there. Then yeah, I would need 2 cave coral, 2 topaz, 2 kraken eyes, and 20,000 copper to make it legendary, giving it 15 accuracy and 55% damage. So pretty nice. And then there's a secondary damage thing, so I could add fire damage to it, or corrosive damage, or freeze, or shock damage. And then I can add a damage boost to make it more powerful against certain types of enemies. All of that requires ingredients, which I don't have for the most part, and it requires a forge. So I can do this if I'm at the blacksmith, for example. But I just wanted to show you that. And anyway, this is clearly an improvement over the bow I'm currently using, which has no enchantments.
Just say the word.
So in any case, I want to use it. And here we've got some spiders. These are slightly more trouble, so I do want to use my abilities a bit.
Yeah. Just say the word.
Okay, still not very difficult, but you know. Worth keeping in mind. And that guy had a lot of gold on him. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything. Tiny area here that's not yet uncovered, but yeah, that's about it. And at this point, I'm just gonna go into fast mode. And we will leave the area, go back to town. By the way, now that I've gone to the correct exit, I don't have to go to the correct exit again to move to the fort, for example. So even though this is technically leading towards Magrant's Fork, I can also just click Gilded Vale directly. So basically, once I've uncovered and skip going like the roundabout way, which is fairly nice. Okay, so there's 2 things I kind of want to do in town. Well, 3 things actually. Or more, possibly. I don't know. Doesn't matter. So, first things first. In my stash under quest items, I have something called a Shipment Crate. If we right click, this battered and heavy crate has been pried open at one corner, but its contents remain within. There is a painted hammer and anvil on the side of it, alongside the words Black Hammer Smithery. which happens to be the blacksmith in Gilded Vale. Don't ask me which building it is. Oh no, it's this one. Never mind. Feel free to ask me which building it is. So we can go in here. And I guess let's talk to the blacksmith. You mentioned something about your stock being low, apparently. So he's telling us about the shipment that's been lost. We already have it. Look. And he gave me a larder door. And 100 copper. Yeah, bandits overtook the wagon. Nope.
Greetings.
I just want to see your wares. So what he gave me was this larder door, which is a good shield. However, I definitely want to sell my unenchanted warbow, a bunch of armor pieces, a large shield that is not as good as the door. Sure, sell all the wolf hide. Bear hide. Sure. I don't think there's any use for it except for selling it. Same for all of these weapons and armor pieces I found. And all of the boar hide, and sure, whatever. And he also sells some very nice stuff, which is obviously beyond my capabilities to buy at the moment, but he has them anyway. He's got a fairly nice lance, but you can already see that the damage numbers don't go crazy, really. So this is a very expensive weapon, and it does 15 to 22 pierce damage. It has some other bonus properties. It's good, but 15 to 22 pierce damage is like comparatively tame. The warbow I've currently got equipped does 16 to 25, so it does more damage. It doesn't have all of those bonus properties. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, that's something to keep in mind. So I just want to sell all that stuff basically. And we also want to go to the tank and give him the bigger, better shield. I want to keep the fine greatsword for now. And I don't want to steal from these guys because they're nice. Okay, next go to the inn and get myself another character. Just temporarily, because I know after I clear I'm just gonna say after I finish the fort. I don't want to spoil too much. I was trying to find a way to phrase it, but anyway, after I finish the fort, the keep, the next area after that will give me another ally. But I want to have a full party now, which is full party is 6 people.
Hail, traveler.
So I can get a level 2 adventurer for 500 copper coins, which is fine. So right now the balance in my party is we've got 1, 2, 3 dudes, 2 ladies. So we need another lady. Let's go for a godlike, sure. This one looks horrible. I know, I've complained about that during character creation, but don't worry about it. Because you can choose between Death Godlike, which look ugh, Fire Godlike, which look kinda cool, Moon Godlike, which look kinda cool, and Nature Godlike, which are, they're okay. But I actually really like the Moon Godlike for their ability. Because when they drop below 75, 50, and 25%, they restore a bit of endurance, which can really be a lifesaver. So I think that's fairly useful. So I'm going to go for a Moon Godlike. For a body type, might as well make her look like an elf. You can choose any body type, so they don't have a set body type like the other races. You can just pick one of the other races and basically be kind of that same statue. Right. Now what do I want you to be? So we already have a chanter in the group. We've got a priest, we've got a ranger, we've got a wizard, and we've got a fighter. Dexterity and intellect. So as a moonlike I get dexterity and intellect, so I'm trying to think what might be useful for that. Okay, I'm sort of maybe a druid. What's a cipher? Ciphers can direct. I don't really know what a cipher would use for stats. I don't want to go paladin or barbarian. Chanter we've already got. We've got a priest, so it's cipher, druid. I guess a monk is more of a physical kind of character in these, right? Yeah, so like the first time I encountered monks in any kind of game was in Guild Wars 1. And there a monk is a pure caster. It's the healer class of the base game. They eventually added some other classes that could also do a bit of healing, but the monk is the primary healer. So for me, a monk is someone who's using magic, basically. But in D&D, a monk is more like a monk in, say, Diablo 3. They are sort of fist-fighting kind of guys, like spinning kicks and those kinds of monks, more like Shaolin monks than the monks I know from Guild Wars. But that's somehow always unintuitive to me. Yeah, I was at first thinking I'll just make another wizard, because they have pretty good firepower. But I think it's probably better to get some diversity going. I think it's going to be more interesting. So the druid can turn into an animal. I'm just going to go for a druid. Why not? I don't know if a moon god like druid makes much sense, but I'm playing on normal difficulty. I'm sure I'll be fine. So I get average deflection, very low accuracy, very low endurance, and low health. And I can choose what I want to be able to transform into. I already have a bear in the party, so kind of torn. Stack has high defense, can attack a bit of an AoE. You know what, let's go for the boar. Seems like another fairly tanky option. And again, this is not going to be a permanent character in the party, I don't think, so don't worry too much about it. Okay, might, intellect, and resolve. Well, that's fair enough. I've got the bonus on intellect that I can make use of as a godlike moon. Well, any godlike gets those bonuses, so I get intellect +1. I also get +1 dexterity, which is not super recommended apparently, but that's fine. So let's go good might, good intellect, bit of resolve, I don't know. Just do this. Whatever, it's fine. Okay, my culture. Resolve, dexterity, resolve, intellect, constitution, might, perception. Kind of torn, but I think might. Let's go with might. That way I also get a shield. Apparently that influences my starting equipment. Okay, survival, stealth mechanics, laws. Survival is just the rest bonuses, right? You know what? I'm gonna go for Explorer. Survival is nice for the rest bonus stuff, and lore is I don't know, for using scrolls and stuff. I don't know if it will ever come in handy, but might as well. Or do we want mechanics maybe? Is there survival and mechanics? There is not. Well, I want survival. And then there's the option of stealth, lore, or just more survival. Now let's go for lore. I think that makes sense for a druid to know a bit of lore. Appearance is fine. Again, I'm not going to go into too much detail with this character.
Yes.
Sure. Well, obviously, since she's a moon god-like, whatever, Luna seems like the perfect, very unimaginative name, but I don't want to spend forever thinking up a cool name. Now, I know it said level 1 druid there, but I paid for level 2 adventurer. That's because she joins at level 1, and then I get the option to level up. So that's how that works, basically. Right, we definitely want to up survival a bit, and lore, and then let's just go for, I don't know, whatever. Doesn't really matter for this character, so I'm not gonna think too much about it. Right, we have some talents. Veterans recovery. Steadily regaining endurance over time. That's very handy. Keep in mind, endurance is my sort of in-fight hit points. Somewhat. And I'm not super in detail about the mechanics here because I don't know them all that well either. But that's the general idea. Runner's wounding shot. 1 per encounter. So this is a weaker version of the wounding shot that rangers get, I guess. Hobbled for some time. And some damage is inflicted over time. Rhymer's summon. Requires at least 15 seconds in combat, okay. Summons 2 human skeletons. Well, I get a bunch of human skeletons from my chanter, so that's not too important. So yeah, again, it seems like the veteran's recovery is more of a fighter thing, which I'm, as a druid, apparently able to just adopt. The wounding shot's a ranger ability, the something is taken from a chanter, so I get weaker versions of other classes' abilities, by the looks of it. A frenzy type thing. So one thing I've noticed in fighting those bandits, one of them had this frenzy, and I couldn't see his health anymore. So that's what this is: health and endurance concealed, which means I can't, like, I couldn't see the enemy's hit, well, how close he was to dying and stuff. Not sure what that does to the enemy if I have it concealed, but whatever. That's a monk thing. Gallant's focus is paladin thing. Enigma's charm. Something taken from the ciphers. Apprentice's sneak attack from rogues, I guess. And a Priest's Holy Radiance. Okay, I can do additional elemental damage when I'm spirit shifted, but no, I'm thinking I'll go for the recovery. Regaining endurance in combat seems useful. Okay. Cool. And now I want to hire a room for the night. Let's go for perception mechanics, sure. And let's head out. There is a place I want to explore in town.
Not a problem.
Which I think is a good idea to do with the full party before I head further, which is this fairly broken temple place. So let's head down there. However, it's a fairly long dungeon, and I'm gonna cut here. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.